Good morning. Welcome both here in the sanctuary and online and YouTube to the Unitarian Universalist service, the Unitarian Universalist Church. It's a Sunday service. Should I just start again? Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg's Sunday service. That's it. My name is Ben Atherton-Zeman. I'm the minister here. We are on the unceded ancestral lands of the Tocobaga and Seminole Native Americans. Today's our annual meeting. I'm excited about our annual meeting. Woohoo indeed. And we will also be thanking the many, many volunteers who have been making this church work, doing our ministry, volunteering. Maybe you can think of someone in your head right now. Maybe you can look around and say, oh, that person volunteers a lot. Keep them in your head, because this isn't going to be just Beth and I saying the names. This is going to be me walking around with the microphone and then us all taking turns saying who we're grateful for, who has volunteered this year. And speaking of Beth Stombaugh, Beth is our worship associate, and I'm excited to be joined by Beth.
Thanks, Ben. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Beth.
If you want a church that sides with love, that shows up for justice, and that has many active volunteers, that helps your soul grow, I have good news. You may have found your church home. We have one announcement today. Well, Ben kind of talked about it. We have our annual meeting at noon today. So after the service, we'll ask everyone to exit the sanctuary for a coffee hour. And then we will re-enter the sanctuary by checking in with Clerk Michael Pohl and to get a voting card before you come back in for the annual meeting. Please read the rest of your announcements in the order of service or in our weekly newsletter.
So there's some folks I see who are new, and maybe you're also new to Unitarian Universalism. So let me say that as Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, and I'll get into that more during the reflection later. But we do share a common faith that every person is worthy of love, that what we do in this world matters, and that we're connected to one another and to the earth. So whoever you are and wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. And speaking of newcomers, can you give a wave if you're new or you're relatively new? Hello, waving people. Good to see you. I got a chance to say hello to both of you, but this is your line. I always step on this line.
We want to give a special welcome to our newcomers. So if you're new and you'd like to stand or raise your hand briefly to introduce yourself, Ben will bring the microphone to you so that people on YouTube can hear what you're saying. But you're under no obligation to say anything. But we'd love to hear from you.
Pat's friend.
Hello, I am Anda, and I drive a Honda. And I was a Unitarian Universalist years ago when I lived in New Jersey. But my membership has lapsed since I moved to Pennsylvania and then here. But we can do something about that.
Welcome, Honda. While I'm here, welcome, Honda, with your Honda.
Hello, I'm Lee. I live about 3 blocks from here, and I walk around the lake all the time. I've been here once before, and I loved it, so thought I'd come back. Thank you.
I remember you, Lee. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. I'm like trying not to make eye contact with the people who I know are new. Oh, there she is.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I live nearby too. Not that nearby, but it's my first time ever at a Unitarian Universalist church, so curious to see what it's all about. Thank you.
Welcome, Jennifer. That's it.
Thank you for silencing your cell phones. Regarding masks, we encourage you to wear one if you're comfortable. Let's take a moment to greet our neighbor. Please remember to get consent if you're going to hug them or shake their hand.
Very loud.
We light our chalice in honor of all those who served or served as volunteers at UUSP. May the chalice be to us a symbol of the sharing of faith, service, and hope which they have brought. May the flame remind us of the giving of their lives and love upon the altar of service here at UUSP. As Nora lights our chalice, please give voice to our shared connections by saying our covenant together. The words can be found in your program and online in the text chat. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now, please rise as you are willing and able for our first hymn, Love Will Guide Us. It's hymn number 131 in the gray hymn book. Good job, Nora.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Try some harmony. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. You may may be seated, unless you are children, in which case, yay, come forward. Our children actually have a message for us today for the Time for All Ages, and our Director of Religious Education and Communications, Janae Johnson, will be with them to give us that message. But while they're getting set up, I will stall for time.
Sorry, y'all, still getting prepped. We're gonna say thank you. You wanna say thank you? Did that just happen? Oh, let her go, she can go. All right, Nora, you wanna say something for me? I'm gonna say, I know, right? I can't speak Dubagabe anymore, okay. You want to say something too?
I love you.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. We love you too.
So on a count of 3, we're going to say thank you, volunteers. Are we ready? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, volunteers.
And that's all that we wanted to say today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Let's sing the children out to their classrooms. Thank you. Go now in peace, go now in peace. Spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Thanks, Janae. Thank you, staff. Thank you, kids. That went off just like we rehearsed it. Now it's the time in our worship service for joys, sorrows, and concerns. And those of you on YouTube Live, you are not here physically, but please know that your presence is felt. You can put your joys and your sorrows into the text chat. Some of you have emailed me during the week, and I have your joys, sorrows, and concerns. And some of you have written on these lovely cards that are in front of you. And there's probably still a few seconds to, oh, Patty's got one more. There's a few seconds to write in the cards. All of you who are new are like, what? I didn't get this memo, but maybe you can write it now, and then I'll come and grab it. Okay, this one's for me.
All right, and Patty Kanewood is going to put our stones in for us today.
Thanks, Patty.
Our first is a stone of sorrow from Kelly DeGraw. On Mother's Day, she lost a dear friend that she has bowled with and celebrated the birth of his 3 grandchildren with him. Juan Centeno was 57 years old, one of 4 misfit bowlers that came together to make a team and became like family.
I'm sorry for your loss, Kelly. Next, a stone of joy from Gordia Leclerc. Gordia's here, right? There you are. Hello. After bringing up her GPA, Gordia finally got formal acceptance to Arizona State. Congratulations, Gordia.
Congratulations. Next, a stone of anger from Gordia Leclerc at her Governor Ron DeSantis.
A stone of joy from Fred and Ann Seidel. They're en route right now to Colorado and may be tuning in from the car, so drive safely if you are. They're going to a family celebration for the engagement of their oldest grandson, Christopher, and his fiancée, Emily. Emily's starting medical school in July at Loyola College. Emily's the first in her family to graduate from college. And here she is starting medical school. Congratulations, and have a safe trip, Ann and Fred.
All right, Ben stole mine, so
Oh,
I'm going
I
to do
switched it.
his.
Okay.
A stone of sorrow from Lisa Dawn. Her uncle David died this week. We're so sorry.
Sorry, Lisa. All right, now we're back. A stone of joy from Steve Sanderson. Steve is here too. There you are. So Steve submitted a piece of art to the Art Out show in Gulfport Public Library. Now, he wrote to me that the show got 55 submissions from 4 different countries. It's a celebration of the LGBTQIA plus community. Steve's submission was accepted, and this art will be in the show. Congratulations, Steve. The art show opens on June 1st.
Next, a stone of joy from Sandy Weeks. UUSP is now being part of Floridians for Freedom with the Bodily Autonomy team. I have so much hope we can stem the tide of authoritarianism.
Yeah, thank you. And finally, a stone, yeah. Finally, a stone of joy from Susan Gore. Thanks in advance, UUSP members and friends, for supporting the LGBTQ Resource Center in Gulfport by attending our drag show, same day as the art opening, Thursday, June 1st at the Hickman Theater, 7:30 p.m. in Gulfport. See Susan, who is here? Susan is here! See the waving hand of Susan for details. Anyone else got a card? Nope. So let's bring to mind and hold close to our hearts Kelly DeGraw and Juan Centeno and Juan's family, Lisa's Uncle David and their family, Gordia, all those who are known and unknown who are facing challenges and health concerns.
May our hearts not become calloused by the never-ending incidences of oppression and hatred that so many of us face each day. Rather, may we keep our hearts open to the positive efforts of so many people causing good trouble in this world. May we have the strength to demand and gain the right for all people to have a safe place to sleep, health care to keep them strong, and knowledge that their lives do matter. The struggle is taking longer than it should, but we will get there if we continue to fight for what we all know is right.
Yes. Thank you, Beth. That's beautiful. Who wrote that? Oh, I thought it was you.
I think John Motter did,
Oh,
and
John
I added
Motter
a
wrote it.
couple things to it.
John and Beth wrote that. I think it's beautiful. Let's all find, I hope that we all find a comforting and compassionate presence in the warmth of fellowship and community. And she has left, so I will, unless Patty Canewood is still here, I will put a final stone for those joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts. Beth will put the final stone for the joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts. Sometimes they're too tender to speak out loud. Hi, Morgan, welcome. And now's the perfect time for you to come in, Morgan, because we're about to do a moment of silence together. Let's be silent together for about 1 minute. The mystery is that we are connected even when we feel apart. So let's rejoice in our beloved community that makes of the many one. So may it be. Spirit, of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Now we will begin our volunteer recognition with a reading based upon the words by Reverend Amy Kindred, the new minister at UU Clearwater. Of all the gifts in all the world, for the love we are grateful. Of all the gifts in all the world, for helping hands we are grateful. May we remember that the best gifts don't arrive wrapped in paper or bows. For love and the helping hands and service of all of our wonderful volunteers here at UUSP, we are so grateful. Amen, and may it be so. Now we would like to thank our awesome volunteers at UUSP. Please accept our apologies ahead of time if we inadvertently forget anyone. Reverend Ben will begin, and then we will give everyone who wishes, please participate, an opportunity to tell us the name of a volunteer and one or two reasons why you appreciate this individual. Ben?
The first volunteer I'm thanking is our board president, Rebecca, but I don't see her. Be so cool if she were here to receive this. Oh, is she in the other room?
I think she's in the other room.
Can you see if anyone else wants to be thanked while I'm going to get her?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. So while we're waiting on that, Sabina and Jerry, would you? Yes, we would like. We would like to thank both of them for everything that they do. Sabina and Jerry are so active in the church with so many different committees, and also especially with our Friday night supper and social justice activities, and also greeters. So thank you to both of them. And if you two would come up.
So you get, did you describe what's in the bag already?
No.
Okay, so.
In the bag, we have a chalice from Nepal, you said?
Nepal, yep.
And a necklace that Ben brought back from India, and also a keychain.
Keychain, and then the fourth thing.
And a pen.
And a pen. And the keychain has a thank you to volunteers, which I will read at the end. The suspense will be incredibly intense, but you can do it. And yeah, these chalices I bought in Nepal when I was there, and then the necklaces are made by this young woman named Shivani. There's a little note about the necklaces, and you each get a bag because you're the first volunteers to be thanked. Congratulations.
Yeah, make sure you get yours.
And now, this is how this is going to work. One of you will raise your hand and say, you know who should be thanked, who's volunteered a lot? This person. And then I'll give you the microphone, and you say who it is, and then they get a bag.
Thank you. I want to thank John and Bill Motter and their mother, Ruth, for all they do for our covenant groups, and also Dick Miller for all his volunteer for our Friday nights serving dinner and many other wonderful chores that he takes care of.
Thank you so much. Dick Miller, John Motter, Bill Motter, Ruth. That's 4 amazing people, so I don't quite want to move off of them because I want to see if anyone else wants to say more about any of those 4. Dick Miller, John Motter, Bill Motter. What? Hi, Bill. That guy. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This is about them? Okay.
Not about them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Last call. More appreciations about them. Nope, we're moving on to other people.
We have lots of volunteers.
Oh, Bianca. I'm going to repeat what you say. Bianca, I'm going to stop you for a second. So Bianca says, John and Bill Motter, she wants to add to the thanks because of their welcome in the covenant group. As women of color in a mostly white group, no offense, I think is how you put it, there's often the words of we want to be inclusive, but without the actions. Did I get it? Okay. Thank you for making me feel included, says Bianca. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Modders. All right, now we're on to someone else.
I would like to thank Todd Wellman for his wonderful leadership of the worship committee and helping to put these wonderful services together.
Thank you, Todd. Are you here, Todd? No, okay. Are you here, Todd? It's me, Margaret. The next person.
I want to thank Morgan Gresham, who's been on every committee, unbelievably dedicated, diligent, and continues this year, I believe, to be on the worship committee, the RE committee, the ministerial search committee, communications committee.
Thank you, Morgan.
I want to thank Susan Bernor for all the things she's done and continues to do, including organizing these really fun fundraising events.
And I want to thank Trish Birch for being treasurer of this church during an incredibly challenging time and doing a fantastic job.
Oh, you got this? Yep. And then I'll come to you.
And we all would like to thank Reggie Craig for all the electrical work, the plumbing work, the carpentry work, the work in the playground, making it safe and hospitable for our guests. A million gazillion things I can't think of on the spot, but thank you, Reggie.
Thank you, Reggie.
I would like to also thank Jerry and Sabine for doing the Friday night sunset dinners, which I've been a part of, and Gianna has been a part of. So thank you, Gianna.
Thank you, Gianna. Thank you, Sabina. Thank you, Jerry. So Gianna gets a bag.
I would, excuse me. I would like to thank Linda Paul for chairing the care committee and all that she does for those who need some cheer.
Thank you, Linda Paul. That's Linda Paul, right here.
Thanks, Ben. I would like to thank Linda, Paul, and Pete for leading our Coventry group, and it's been very helpful and informative. And also Pat Fling for inviting me to be on the Social Justice Committee.
Pat Fling, Pete.
Hi, I'd like to thank the volunteers who work in the kitchen and give up the time of being here in this room to support us after the service.
Hospitality team. Dana's here, I think, from hospitality team, right? There's Dana.
Yeah, Dana, Kevin, Rich.
Rich is up there. Hey, Rich. And Lucinda is in the kitchen. Lucinda's right here in front of me. And Lisa. Well, I want to say a bit of a word about Richard for a second, because for 7 years, really, Richard did this work largely by himself and at great cost to his physical body. And a lot of you who have been here for many years know this. So thanks to the current hospitality team for taking the literal weight off of his shoulders so that he can rest his back. And I know that he is still feels a part of us, and he said he will be back when he's ready. So bless you wherever you are, Richard. Oh, Kevin. Also Richard, but the back thing was Kevin. I have ADHD. I get names wrong. Those of you who are new here.
Hi, I would like to thank Karen Cole for her amazing work as chair of the board, and also working on the Social Justice Committee in a leadership role and so many other things, and of course Dave as well, because we all know if we have someone to help us out at home, they do. And along with that, Susan Bernor, who stepped in to take over the board at a time that was a time of transition and required a lot of sensitivity, and as Karen Cole has as well, just leadership without judgment and so many other traits that bring us all together.
Thank you, Karen Cole. Thank you, Susan Bernor. Thank you, Kevin. I'm just practicing.
I want to thank William Cowan, who is not here this morning, unfortunately, for all the work he does Friday nights, especially his chili and his soups. All of the guests on Friday night know him and know he cooks those soups and chilies and really appreciate the work that he puts in.
Yes, thank you, William. And I think accepting on behalf of William, who can also receive thanks of her own, Claudia, the other in the soup duo. Thank you, Claudia, for your work with the soup and so much else.
I would like to thank Kevin for all the years that he cook and serve us in the social hour. I think now he needs to rest for a while and give an opportunity for other people to help. But I think we should not forget, because I never saw somebody who dedicates so many years and modest, not wanting even to thank. And I think it is important that we respect that.
Thank you, Sula. Kevin, if you're watching, thank you.
I would like to thank Robert for always helping me on Sundays with the live streaming, so that if something goes wrong, just one person freaking out, it's two.
Thank you, Robert. I know Lauren does that as well. Thank you, Lauren.
Hi, I'd like to thank the religious education team. I know Janae works here and she's fantastic, but Trish is a volunteer and she's also amazing. I appreciate them with our children so much, helping to make the new generation of people who love other people.
Thank you, RE staff. Thank you, RE volunteers.
I'd like to thank Vonda and Carol. Both of them not only are on different committees, but they're always here at coffee hour and always friendly, and they're the first ones to talk to me when I first joined.
Thank you, Vonda. Thank you, Carol. Oh, there's Vonda. Hi, Vonda.
I don't think she's here today, but I want to thank Cynthia Patterson for doing the Sunday reading group. It's great books, it's great social justice discussions, and she puts a lot of work, and also for her work as a professor on the union, representing the union for the college professors and trying to undo what DeSantis is attempting. So,
thank you, Cynthia.
Cal and Virginia Fox, I want to thank them for all their hard work collecting food for the Southside Food Bridge and many other activities honoring the needs of people in the community.
Yes. Thank you, Foxes.
I don't know everyone's name in the musical program, but it's fantastic here. Thank you.
Can you pass this?
I'd like to thank everybody on the Board of Endowment for bringing us into the 21st century and all your very hard work. I think I see Carol here and Susan. And anybody else.
And Alan Froelich is on that committee as well.
Thank you, Board of Endowment.
I want to thank Karen White for her diligent participation on the board, organizing the women's walking group, and many other unknown things that she does to help this church.
Thank you. Helping hire staff, having the year-round nominating committee.
I'd like to thank Doug and Connie for the UU Rollers group. Yes. UU Rolling, you know, the bike group that we meet every Wednesday. It really means a lot to me.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Connie. UU Rollers.
I would like to thank Geneva Nelson and Chris McDonald for coordinating the CUPS group, and that's something I really, really enjoy.
Thank you, Geneva. Thank you, Chris.
I'd also like to thank Rebecca, and both Karen White and Bill Motter have been on the board for 3 years, and they're probably the 3 most volatile years we've had, and I want to thank you all for sticking with it so much.
Thank you to our board members. And while we're on our board members, I want to have a special thank you for you, Rebecca, partly because in that bag is like mostly stuff that I've already given you. You already have a chalice, and you already have the necklace, so we made a special bag for you as our board president, and you've had so much time this year volunteering, and I know because half of that time's been with me, and I just really appreciate your kindness, your intelligence, your wisdom, and just all of the heart and soul that you have brought to this congregation. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Our board president.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Rebecca. I know you put in 10 to 20 hours a week at least, so thank you.
That was a dramatic moment, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're done.
Yeah,
so
please
who
go
else
ahead.
Can we? Because I'm thinking of some people. Yeah, go ahead, Jerry. See if it's the same people I'm thinking of.
It may be, but I think Trish Birch has done an amazing job carrying us through this year. As the treasurer, I mean, it's been a really tough year, and she has really handled it with grace and has brought us along, which is really a hard job sometimes. We're very diverse, but she just makes it all happen for us to understand what's going on financially here. Thanks.
Thank you, Trish. Hand the microphone to Mike.
Too many to really know their names, but our greeters. The greeters that see us, it seems like a rotating cast each day. You see a new one, but so nice, yeah.
Our greeters, our greeter leaders.
I would like to thank Aaron, John, and James for not only being part of our music program, but for doing the most beautiful concerts for us as fundraisers. It just is wonderful.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, John. Thank you, James. John and James, at this moment, driving north to North Carolina, maybe listening in on their phone, hopefully driving carefully. Jeff Bambro is what I was thinking, yeah. Who wants to say how amazing Jeff Bambro is? Oh, yeah, the hands go up.
I'd like to thank Jeff for being one of the people here that I work most closely with when I first started, and he made everything amazing and is organized, so I appreciate that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, Jeff and Todd, when they both came, said that they felt like they knew me because they'd been seeing us on YouTube. But, you know, to me, they were just new members, and usually new members don't jump right in and volunteer 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week, but that's what Jeff did. He has done so much for the building, for the buildings and grounds team, for the building use team, and yeah, Jeff, I don't see you, but you are such a good man, and I'm so appreciative that you're a part of our group. Blessings, Jeff. Blessings on the oh, and he works on the endowment board too. Yes, okay. I'm like, we did the endowment board. Blessings on the endowment board. Blessings on Jeff. And I kind of think of Jeff and Lori in the same breath when I think of 20, 30 hours of volunteer a week on the building with the building use and buildings and grounds. And Lori has, I think, been coming here the longest, started coming here in the late 1960s. Right? I don't see Lori here, but thank you so much, Lori. Who else are we forgetting? I can't. Beth Stombaugh. Beth Stombaugh. Not just a board member, not just a worship associate, not just a former member of the transition team, but pretty much and also kind of new here, like joined us during the pandemic, and yet very quickly has become an essential voice in our leadership. And like I said with Rebecca, somebody whose wisdom and intelligence and creativity I count on every day. Thank you, Beth, for your work here.
If anybody else wants to say something. Oh,
there's.
I have. Oh.
Yes.
I have a couple more.
I don't think we can ever thank enough the committees that do so much work behind the scenes, but the one I want to lift up is the search committee that's going on right now. Right. I see Vonda and Julie here. I'm trying to remember. Morgan, Andy Bragg, and is that everybody? And Karen.
Julie.
Oh, Linda, Paul. I mean, there's no more important work and no more thankless work. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Minister Search Team. Karen Cole, then Mike. Oh, and then Bill. You want to bellow it and I'll repeat?
Sure. I haven't heard Michael Pohl's name yet.
Michael Pohl.
Yeah.
So I heard Michael Pohl's name, Ariana Drew. Uh-oh. Christine Barker. Hi, Christine. And the Racial Justice Team for opening our minds and our hearts. Thank you.
Recognize Ariana Drew and Ellen Hayes for also as board members this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Ellen Hayes. Yeah.
I just wanted to add Kelly Patton to the racial justice, who is getting great stuff from her old church in Oklahoma, but Nebraska. It's there in the Midwest. But anyways, she does a lot of work for the church.
Thank you, Kelly. I think Kelly's here somewhere. I'm sure would love to be the center of attention. Hey, Kelly. Thank you for your work. Amy Sowers. Karen Cole. What in particular about Amy Sowers, other than the lovely flute playing we're about to hear? Some gushing about the racial justice team, and in particular, Amy Sowers. Where'd Amy go? Jump on stage. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, racial justice team. Thank you, Karen Cole. And any more?
Yeah, and I was showing Ben the list of that we had that hadn't been recognized, not telling him to say anything about me. But anyways, let's see, who do we have left? Patty Canewood. She's been instrumental with the greeters and will always pitch in when needed. And let's see here.
I want to thank the bell ringers. Who rings the bells here?
The choir.
Who's a
and
bell
the
ringer?
bells.
Thank you so much, bell ringers.
Yeah.
And who's in the vocal choir? Who's in the choir?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, choir.
Yes, all the members of the bell choir and the choir who provides us lovely music every month. And
we got one more?
Michael?
Michael
okay.
Pohl.
So
Let's do Michael
any
Pohl
other
10 times.
volunteer who regularly serves on a team or committee and we inadvertently forgot you, please raise your hand so that we can recognize you.
Raise your hand if we forgot you. Steve?
I grew up in a conservative church, and they always talked about the church being a body. And I'm impressed as I sit here and listen to all the diverse things that are going on, that there's parts of this body everywhere. And that is such a unique experience in my religious life. Even though they talked about body, you who are new are witnessing a body at work, a body in action, and a body that loves the different parts of itself.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. That is a perfect note to end on. Unless we have someone raising their hand, that'll be a perfect note.
I think we should recognize Alan Nitzman. I don't see Alan here right now. He founded the Green Team, which is gaining momentum as we speak.
Thank you, Alan Nitzman.
And we want to thank all of the people that we didn't have a little gift bag for, but I know that we really, it just is a testimony to how wonderful and gracious everybody in this congregation is and how active we all are. And we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being who you are and for what you give us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. I can't believe we ran out of bags. So for those who didn't get a bag, fortunately, I do have more of the chalices from Nepal, more of the necklaces from Shivani, and I have one more of these. What, Beth? Oh, Beth is willing to give hers away. Should we let Beth give hers away? Didn't think so. Nice try. But those of you who did get bags, here's what your keychain says. May you be proud of the work you do, the person you are, and the difference you make. Beth found these. Thank you, Beth. There's one more.
But without them, we couldn't function. Like Aaron Cassette, our wonderful pianist, Cheyenne that works in the office. Yeah. And the other person is one more person, Ginny, that works with the children, because they gives us the possibility of function the way we want to function. And we should be grateful to them too. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Sula. Thank you, staff. I also do work here. Also not a volunteer. Please welcome Amy Sowers with Aaron Cassette for our anthem. Thanks so much, Amy. Thank you, Aaron. Steve Sanderson just talked about the church being a body, and today is our annual meeting. So I want to talk to you for a minute about what it means to become a part of this body, to belong to this church. Now, some of you belong, whether you're here in person or online on YouTube, some of you belong to this church the way you belong to the Sierra Club or the National Organization for Women, or maybe a choir. You pledge, you vote, you show up on Sunday when you can, get the newsletter in the mail, sometimes read it. And some of you are brand new. It's your first time in this building, and you're considering maybe belonging. But most of you in this room, you belong to the church. For most of you, this is that precious third space that is neither home nor work. When you found us, you felt like you were home. You felt like you were at peace, like a hole maybe you didn't even know was there had been filled. Maybe you joined us. I mean, we just literally named like more than half of this room when we were in the thank you. We ran out of our bags to thank you. So some of you belong, but most of you belong. And maybe you joined us because you were inspired by a worship service. Maybe it was led by me. Maybe it was led by my predecessor, another of my predecessors. Maybe it was led by someone from the worship team. Or maybe you joined because you have children and you want them raised in a church community. Maybe you joined because of CUPS, because of the Covenant for You Pagans group, or because of the book discussion group, or because of your own covenant group. Maybe you joined because this community was there for you right when you needed it to be, during a time of loss, during a time of pain for you, during a time of celebration for you. And many of you tried belonging elsewhere, and you were not welcome, did not feel at home, did not feel that you belonged. Maybe you were unwelcome because you didn't believe in a certain God, or because you were trans, or because you supported reproductive justice, or because you were gay. You were hoping to find acceptance, make connections, feel safe, but you didn't. I went to school hoping for those things. I went to elementary and middle school hoping to find acceptance, feel safe, and make connections. But instead, I was called names, I was shoved, and I was punched. I was called slurs that meant girl and slurs that meant gay. Sure, I did find friends, and I had a very good and supportive home life. But overall, school was a place that made me feel like I didn't belong, like there was something wrong with me. And then when I was 19, I signed up for the Great Peace March for Global Nuclear Disarmament. So for 9 months, I walked with 800 people across the United States for the cause of global nuclear disarmament. We all slept in tents, prepared and ate our food together, carried signs, and walked from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. And for the first time, I felt like I belonged. I felt like I was home. I felt accepted in the community that was also doing something to make the world better. And we did not agree on a lot of things. Global nuclear disarmament, yes. Everything else, no. We had our little tents, but we also had these much larger town hall tents, and the town hall tents were often places where we had concerts by Pete Seeger or some other legendary musician, and often a place where we had very, very conflicted meetings, and voices were raised, and people got angry, and we did not agree. But then we got up the next morning, every morning, rolled up our tents, and walked beside one another, beside those very people we had disagreed with, because we had a job to do, and the only way to do it was to do it together. Now, I hope there's no yelling at our annual meeting. But if there is, we'll survive it. We'll roll up our tents. We'll walk together because we have important work to do, and we can only do it together. Some of you are going to vote against the eighth principle. I know this because you've written me, and you've told me why, and thank you. I appreciate that you wrote me. I appreciate that you told me why. You know I support the eighth principle. You know I hope and wish you would vote for it, but please know this. If you vote against it, I won't love you any less. I won't respect you any less. We don't have a creed here at UU St. Pete. We welcome dissent from a prevailing opinion. I mean, we already don't agree on things like, is there a god or goddess, or what form do they take, or is there an afterlife? So like the UU St. Pete postcard says, we don't have to think alike to love alike. We don't have to think alike to love alike. We still have a job to do. The only way to do it is together. We still have to roll up those tents in the morning and keep walking. I guess our equivalent of rolling up tents and walking would be, we have to hold one another in love and work with one another to build a better world. When the Great Peace March ended, I was very depressed for some time. I spent years trying to find a community like that one where I could belong. And it worked a little bit at the Falcon Ridge Folk Music Festival that Lucinda and I attended for many years. It was quite similar, living in tents and preparing food and things like that. But I really didn't find it until I found Unitarian Universalism. In his letter from a Birmingham jail, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny." Now, I've talked about Dr. King's use of these verbs, caught and tied, before. He could have used sweeter words like connected or even blessed, but he used caught. We are caught, almost like a spider web. We're caught. And some folks don't like that. It's a little too rough around the edges, but I really do like that. I think it's accurate. I think it's realistic. I think it's inevitable that we are interconnected. We might as well make the best of it. Even if we disagree on things, after disagreeing, we'll still be in the same church. Or even if y'all leave the church, we'll still be in the same community, the same state, the same world. And we'll still have a job to do. And the only way to do it is together. We'll still have to roll up our tents, so to speak, and march. We'll still have to hold one another in love and work to build a better world. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Dr. King said these words right after he said his immortal, "An injustice anywhere is a threat to what? Justice everywhere." Our work here at UU St. Pete is more important than ever right now. In Florida, trans lives are under attack. Abortion rights are under attack. Black lives are in danger. Books are being banned. You can't say gay. People on the margins are threatened by their government, oppressed by their schools, kicked out of their families and their churches. But if they're kicked out of their churches, they're always welcome in ours. If they ban books, we're going to read them anyway. If drag shows are being picketed, let's host a drag show right here. And if abortion rights are criminalized, let's support those who are circulating this petition they were talking about, the petition to return abortion rights to all Floridians. I mean, we've had a tough time in Florida lately, and we've had a rough time in this congregation lately. I know some of you miss Reverend Jack. I talked with some of you this week, and you said you feel lonely, you feel isolated. Some of you were in the hospital this week. Some of you are in danger of losing your housing. But despite that, you keep coming here. Each of you comes here. A lot of you, everyone we clapped for and gave a bag to, all your volunteers, you come here. You work, you do the work of the congregation. You make your pledge. You volunteer your time. Sharon Wood's here, and she had an operation on both hips and one knee. You're here. Oh, 2 knees, 1 hip, sorry. Well, that makes it much easier to get up that ramp. You're here. You're here. Sula says, all the mysteries we've had, this is part of our history. It's true. We respect and we remember them, and some of you miss them. It's hard for each of us personally. It's hard for all of us collectively. And yet we keep showing up. So I don't think most of you just belong to this church. You belong to this church. And this history from 1914 on up has led you to me. I am your latest minister. I've been your contract minister for 2 years, and my contract was extended for a 3rd year. And some of my friends back in New England can't believe, what are you doing in Florida? We read about you in the paper. But the truth is, there's nowhere on earth I'd rather be than here. And no other work I'd rather be doing than this work with you. Lucinda and I have talked a lot about our future, and we've decided we want to stay. So today I'm officially announcing my candidacy for the settled minister position here at UU St. Pete.
I did not expect that.
Okay, I really didn't expect that. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. We are tied in a single garment of destiny. We're going to disagree, but in the morning, we'll still roll up our tents, keep walking. We'll still hold one another in love and work with one another to build a better world. We have a job to do, and the only way to do it is together. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
All right, we're running really late, so I'm gonna skip some things here. This Sunday is Social Justice Share the Plate Sunday, where half the loose offerings will go to support the operation of this church, and half the plate goes to the Social Justice UU's Helping People programs. The proceeds today are for the Friday Sunset Supper and acquiring replacement canopies for the playground. UUSP's Friday Sunset Supper offers our guests in need a respite from the elements, environmental and social. Shade and protection from the rain go a long way to enhance the comfort of our guests. In the sanctuary, the offering will now be given and received.
Please rise as you're willing and able for our closing hymn, number 1028 in the teal hymnal, Fire of Commitment. From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and spirits to faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of a living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. I invite you to remain standing as Beth, who had a wonderful reading to share it with us, but since we're behind, is going to just lead us in our chalice extinguishing.
Yes. Okay, we invite you to follow along with the hand gestures.
I messed that up. You can just
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We extinguish to this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.
Now you can be seated while Aaron plays the postlude. Sorry. Leave you. We'll leave you. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to give him a few of the Rebecca Parker words. The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. Okay. None of us alone can save the world. Together, that is another possibility waiting.
please join us for coffee hour in Gilmore Hall. It'll be a little short today. Ben and I will not be doing a receiving line. Please exit the sanctuary and then return by noon and check in with Michael Pohl and his team first to get a voting card, and we'll begin the annual congregational meeting promptly at noon. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I think you're coming here. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be wonderful. What, to help? Wow. You are the first people that I met and talked to me. I'll take it all down. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah.